Hello everybody, welcome to the first video on our Insights training. Today we're going to be covering the bit of Insights that talks about our analysis reports. So particularly when you navigate, you will navigate to Insights from the 9-box area, which are our little boxes in the corner. Once you click on this image here, it will take you to your main page on Insights. The first page that you see on my screen is the report gallery. However, the report gallery is actually not always the landing page that you'll see in Insights when you click it open. If you'd like report gallery to be your landing page, then navigate to the report gallery tab. And in the bottom right corner, you will see a little icon that suggests for you to create it as your landing page. The advantage of having the landing page as your report gallery is that you will not have any reports preemptively load before you actually go into the tool. Alternatively, what you may see is in the corner your analysis reports as your main display. If that is your main landing page, then the first report, which is your quality analysis, will be the first report that loads. If this is the main report that you use, I do recommend that you keep that as the landing page. However, that is optional, of course. So we'll start with quality analysis, and this is the first report that is in our analysis suite, and these do come automatically when you open Insights. The great thing about analysis reports is that you don't actually have to create them on your own. In fact, all of these reports are standard, and the reports are interactable. The main things to note about Insights and the key points about Insights would be the right-hand side. You have your projects list, which I'll zoom in on here. And this shows you how many projects and which projects you are particularly looking at the moment. This is throughout the entire Insights program. And on the left-hand side is a little filter icon, if I zoom in on that one. And this icon actually shows you how you can then change where the data comes from. So right now I'm only looking at one particular project that I have in qTest. As a reminder, a project means a particular area of tests that I'm working on in qTest Manager. So if I want to look at multiple projects, I simply click on the filter and select the different projects that I would like to work on or view information from. So underneath that, we have the ability to filter test cycles. Cycles are a separate object in qTest Manager. If you'd like to learn more about that, we do have videos and information about test cycles as well as test suites. You cannot filter for a test suite, and that is why you do not see that as a filter option in the column. Underneath that, we have what we call modules, which I like to say is basically a fancy word for folders. So modules in qTest are folders, and these would come from the different folders that you have inside your project. So when you filter for a singular project or multiple projects, you will have a drop-down for particular folders known as modules that you can then select and filter for. Underneath that, you can select a particular release, which will give you the ability to focus on a release that you're working on. A release could be a sprint or a fixed version, depending on your methodology. And then you have the buttons at the bottom, which allow you to refresh the page or save a particular filter that you're working on or generate embedded script. We can explore those options more later in depth and with other videos as well. So looking at quality analysis here, I can see that the first report is my latest test run results. So a test run would be my actual execution object. So I can see the latest results. How many times have we had failures? How many times have we had something pass? The other thing that's great about these reports is although they are kind of standard and come without you having to create anything yourself, you can actually click on the different areas within this pie chart and in the other charts as well and take away certain particular parts of the chart. So let's say that you do not need to look at the unexecuted test runs. You could click on that and that will go away. So the chart will actually change depending on which areas that you'd like to see the results for. So if I click on that, that will then return, or I can click on it again to hide that particular area of the pie chart. The other thing you'll note is that the chart itself is based on my custom fields in qTest. So do not get confused if you see that I have ready for next tester or incomplete and you do not see those areas. It's because within that project in qTest, you do not have those specific fields. Next, we have the test run results by day. So this particular area would show me a timeline, and I can change that timeline by clicking on the icon that shows the calendar symbol. And this shows the last 15 days, 30, 60, and so on. You also have the ability to change custom ranges. So if you notice already, as I interact with these charts, I'm not having to build them out, but I have the ability to then change the viewing that I'm seeing. So whether it's a particular date or a particular area of the chart, I can hover on it and see how many defects, for instance, do we have from our backlog. So this is our defects in the backlog. Then I have defects in progress and defects that are done. Again, these are the statuses that I have under my defects, but if you have custom defects, you will see those as well. So the defect status in parentheses that you see here on my example shows linked. This means that my defects do not actually get logged into qTest and they get logged into an ALM system. So if you're using an external system to manage your defects, you will show linked in parentheses, whereas if you're using qTest to store your defects and you are not using an ALM system, then you will see qTest in the brackets here. At the very bottom, you will see a breakdown by project and an overview here, almost like a little Excel spreadsheet here at the bottom, but it's tailored to how many projects you are looking at. So I'm only looking at one project, as you can tell by the upper right corner, which means at the very bottom, you only see the details for that one particular project. So if you'd like more information about the additional analysis charts, we will have other videos which will cover the coverage and velocity charts.